Okay, so get ready. We're going deep today. We're talking relationships.
Ooh, sounds fun.
It is. We're diving into 50 couples therapy journal prompts. Have you heard of these?
I have, yeah.
We're taking a look at this blog post from Stallion. They're the ones who make those really nice.
Oh, yeah. The leather journals.
Exactly.
Hmm.
And they put this list together to help couples get closer, strengthen their bond,
I love that. Journaling can be so powerful for couples.
Yeah, and we're going to talk about how...
Even if you're not actually in therapy.
Right. It's like a self-therapy kind of thing.
It's like holding up a mirror. You see the patterns. You understand your partner better.
You start to get why they do the things they do, right?
Exactly. And that opens up communication.
So true. So these prompts are in 5 categories. Understanding each other, improving communication,
Navigating challenges, building intimacy.
and looking toward the future. Big stuff.
It is.
Where should we start?
Let's jump into understanding each other. I think a lot of couples, they struggle with really seeing their partner's strengths, like really appreciating them,
It's so easy to get stuck in a rut.
especially after being together a while.
Totally. You just take each other for granted.
Yeah, that's where these prompts are great. For example, one prompt asks you to write about a time your partner made you feel really loved or supported. Like, what made that moment stand out?
Ooh, I like that one. It forces you to remember the good times.
Right, to focus on the positives.
Like this one time, my partner, they surprised me with tickets to my favorite band.
That's awesome. See, you're already thinking about those good memories.
Yeah, and they were hard to get tickets. It meant so much.
And, research actually shows that when couples do that remember good times together, it makes them feel closer, more satisfied.
So it's not just a fleeting feeling,
It's an investment.
like putting money in the relationship bank, huh?
Exactly. What other prompts in this category stick out to you?
Well, I see one about strengths. Like, what do you think your partner's greatest strengths are?
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
How do those strengths, make your relationship better? That's interesting to think about.
It is. And that makes me think about love languages.
Oh, love languages. Tell me about it.
I know for me, words of affirmation are huge.
Same here.
Yeah.
If my partner doesn't tell me they appreciate me,
You feel unloved.
Exactly. But if they say it, even just the little thank you, it makes my day.
It makes you feel valued.
Yes. There are prompts that get at this, right?
Definitely.
So it's not just knowing your own love language.
It's understanding your partner's.
Yeah, and actually trying to, speak their language.
You got it. Which takes us to the next category, improving communication.
Ooh, that's a biggie.
It is. These prompts, they don't just give you basic tips.
They dig deeper, right?
Exactly. They go into the emotions.
Because sometimes you're so caught up in what's being said, you forget about the feelings underneath.
You miss the subtext?
Yeah, and that's when arguments happen, I think.
For sure. So there's this one prompt I found really interesting. It asks, how do you typically handle disagreements? And how can you create space for healthier communication during those conflicts?
Oh, that's a good question. I mean, we all disagree sometimes.
Conflict is inevitable.
Right. But it's how you handle it that matters. Do you get closer or further apart?
This prompt forces you to look at yourself. Are you shutting down? Are you getting defensive?
Are you even listening?
Or can you stay calm, listen to your partner's side, and find a solution together?
That's the ideal, right?
It is.
But we're not perfect. That's why we need these prompts.
We need that reminder to be aware of our patterns and change them if they're not working.
I see another prompt about active listening. What's that all about?
Active listening, it's like the foundation of good communication. It's not just hearing the words, it's really understanding the message, like what your partner's trying to say, even if they're not saying it directly.
So paying attention to their body language, too.
Exactly. Putting your own thoughts aside and tuning into their experience.
That's hard, though, when you're upset.
It is. Do you have any tips for becoming a better active listener?
Well, I've heard of this thing called reflective listening.
Oh, yeah. Tell me about that.
It's like you repeat back what you've heard, but in your own words.
To make sure you understood it correctly.
Right. So you might say, what I'm hearing is you're feeling hurt because I didn't keep my promise. Is that right?
That's a great example because it shows you're really trying to get it.
And it prevents misunderstandings, right?
Big time. And it shows your partner that you care about their feelings.
That their feelings matter to you.
Yes. There's another prompt here that connects to this. It asks about a time you misunderstood each other. Like, what could you have done differently to prevent that from happening again?
Ooh, That's a good one for learning from your mistakes.
It is. We all mess up in communication.
But it's about getting better, right?
Exactly. So you look back, you see the patterns, and you come up with strategies to communicate better next time.
So it's not about dwelling on the past.
No, it's about using it to grow.
And that growth mindset is key for dealing with challenges, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. Which brings us to, you guessed it, the navigating challenges category.
Huh. Sensing a theme here.
These prompts emphasize that challenges aren't a sign of a bad relationship. They're chances to get closer and to grow.
It's like you work out together, you get stronger together.
I like that. Maybe not literally sweat, but
You know what I mean?
I do. One prompt asks about a recent challenge you faced together and how you supported each other.
That's so important. Knowing you can count on your partner when things are rough.
Builds resilience for sure.
Right. It's like no matter what life throws at us, we're in this together.
And there's another one that's all about self-awareness during challenges. It says, write about a time you felt frustrated in the relationship, then explore what feelings or needs were behind that frustration.
Ooh, that's deep.
It is. Because sometimes we take our frustration out on our partner.
But we don't even know why we're frustrated.
Maybe you're feeling insecure or unheard or just needing a little extra support.
And if you don't figure that out, you can't communicate it to your partner.
Exactly. So you take the time, you understand your own emotions, and then you can work together to find a solution.
That makes sense. And it reminds me of boundaries.
Ah, boundaries are crucial.
But they can be so tricky.
I know. One prompt asks you to write about a boundary that's important to you in the relationship and how you can communicate that to your partner in a loving way.
Yeah, because boundaries aren't selfish.
Right. They're about protecting yourself
So you can be your best self in the relationship.
and respecting each other's needs.
Creating that safe space where you both feel supported.
Exactly. And that safety and support, they're essential for intimacy, which brings us to our next category.
Okay, hold on. Before we get all lovey-dovey with building intimacy, we need a little break.
Sounds good to me.
We'll be right back to explore those juicy prompts, so don't go anywhere. Okay, we're back, and we're diving into building intimacy, which, I gotta say, already sounds exciting.
Intimacy is where the magic happens, right? It's that deep connection.
Emotionally, physically, all of it.
It's about feeling seen, heard, understood.
And I think a lot of couples struggle to keep that spark alive.
Especially when life gets busy, routines take over.
We get stuck in the day-to-day.
Exactly. And these prompts, they give you a way to actively nurture intimacy.
To make it a priority again?
So how do these prompts actually help you build intimacy? Well, one prompt asks you to write about a moment when you felt super connected to your partner.
Like, what made that moment special?
It makes you relive those moments, and really feel those good feelings again.
It's like creating a highlight reel of your relationship.
Yes. And by remembering those moments, you're actually strengthening those pathways in your brain.
The pathway is connected to those good feelings.
Exactly. It's like building intimacy muscle memory.
I love that. Train your brain to focus on the good stuff.
That's the key. There's another prompt here about physical affection. It asks, how do you show it, and how can you both nurture more intimacy through touch?
Physical touch is powerful.
It is. It releases oxytocin, the cuddle hormone.
Makes you feel all warm and fuzzy.
Exactly. But physical touch can be tricky, right? Everyone has different preferences.
Some people are more touchy-feely than others.
Exactly. That's why communication is so important. This prompt encourages couples to talk about it.
What feels good, what doesn't?
How can we create a space where we both feel safe and loved through touch?
Like, for me, I love cuddling on the couch with my partner.
That's a classic. And even small gestures count.
Holding hands, a quick kiss.
Little love boosts throughout the day.
I like that. What about the prompt about your partner's love language? How do you meet their needs in your daily interactions?
Oh, that's a good one. It's about figuring out how your partner best receives love.
Words of affirmation, acts of service, gifts, quality time, physical touch.
Once you know their language, you can speak it.
Show them love in a way they understand.
It takes the guesswork out of it. No more wondering if they feel appreciated.
And sometimes it means stepping outside your comfort zone.
Doing things that aren't natural for you, but that mean a lot to your partner.
That's true love right there.
It is. It's about effort and understanding.
And this ties into the prompt about emotional vulnerability, right?
Vulnerability is key for real intimacy. It's about letting your guard down, being seen for who you truly are.
And trusting your partner to love you, flaws and all.
That can be scary, I know. But when both partners are willing to be vulnerable,
It creates a whole new level of connection.
deeper, more meaningful. And that brings us to looking toward the future.
This is the part where we dream big, right?
Exactly. We create a shared vision.
We're not just individuals anymore, we're a team.
And like any good team, we need a game plan.
Well, one prompt asks, what do you both envision for your future? How can you align your dreams and goals as a couple?
Making sure you're on the same page, working towards something you both want,
Supporting each other's growth.
creating a future where you're both happy, both individually and as a couple.
And speaking of working together, there's a prompt about long-term goals.
Write about one long-term goal you have for the relationship. How can you work together to achieve it?
Buying a house, traveling the world, starting a family.
Having those shared aspirations, it gives your relationship direction.
A sense of purpose.
And as you work towards those goals, it's important to celebrate your accomplishments.
To acknowledge how far you've come together.
Exactly. There's a prompt about that too. How do you celebrate milestones and achievements? How does gratitude shape your journey as a couple?
Gratitude is so important. It's easy to forget to be grateful for the good stuff.
Especially when you're busy and stressed.
So true. Okay, so we've covered a lot. Understanding each other, navigating challenges, building intimacy, looking ahead. What's the takeaway for our listeners? Why should they be excited about these prompts?
The real magic is in the conversations these prompts spark. It's about creating that space for open, honest dialogue.
Because communication is everything, right?
It's the foundation of any strong relationship.
And these prompts, they're like a roadmap for exploring your relationship. You uncover hidden treasures, you strengthen your bond.
You said it. And you don't have to wait for problems to arise.
You can use these prompts proactively.
To nurture your relationship, keep it healthy.
Like a relationship checkup.
Exactly. Now, if you're looking for a beautiful place to write all these thoughts down...
Stallion makes those gorgeous leather journals.
They do, and there's something special about writing by hand, don't you think?
It's more personal, more meaningful.
It is. So before we wrap up, we have one final thought-provoking question for you.
What's one small step you can take today, inspired by these prompts, to deepen your connection with your partner?
It could be anything. Expressing your appreciation, having a heartfelt conversation, planning a date night.
The key is to be intentional, to make your relationship a priority.
Because even small gestures can make a big difference.
So there you have it, 50 couples therapy journal prompts to spark those conversations and strengthen your bond. We hope you enjoyed this deep dive.
And feel inspired to start journaling and connecting.
Until next time, keep exploring, keep growing, and keep the love alive. Wow, we've really explored a lot with these journal prompts, haven't we?
We have. It's amazing how much there is to unpack when it comes to relationships.
And I'm feeling really inspired, like I want to grab a journal and start writing right now.
I know, right? It makes you want to put all this into practice.
And what I love is that these prompts aren't just for couples who are like on the verge of breaking up or something.
No, not at all. They're for anyone who wants to, invest in their relationship.
Make it even better than it already is.
It's like preventative maintenance.
Ooh, I like that analogy.
Just like you go to the dentist for regular checkups, these prompts help you keep your relationship healthy.
Spot any potential issues before they become big problems.
Exactly. And speaking of problems, one thing that really stood out to me was how these prompts encourage couples to see challenges as opportunities.
To see the good and the bad, huh?
Yeah, to view them as chances to grow closer, not further apart.
Because, let's face it, every relationship has challenges.
It's inevitable.
Right. It's how you handle them that matters.
Do you let them tear you down, or do you use them to build something stronger?
It's like that saying, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. But in this case, it's more like, what doesn't kill your relationship makes it stronger.
Exactly. And those prompts about navigating challenges, they really guide you through that process.
They help you reflect on past challenges, figure out what worked, what didn't.
And then, come up with a plan for how to face future challenges together.
As a team.
Yeah, not as two individuals battling each other.
And that teamwork, that feeling of being on the same side, that's so important for everything, isn't it?
It really is. For communication, for intimacy, for planning for the future.
It's the foundation of a strong partnership.
I couldn't agree more. So as we wrap up this deep dive, I want to leave our listeners with this question.
What's one small action you can take today, inspired by these prompts, to make your relationship even better?
To strengthen your bond with your partner?
Maybe it's expressing your appreciation, having a deep conversation, planning a special date night.
Whatever it is, be intentional. Make your relationship a priority.
And remember, small gestures can have a big impact.
Absolutely. And if you're looking for a beautiful place to jot down your thoughts, those leather journals from Stallion are amazing.
They really are. They make journaling feel like a special ritual.
And there's something so powerful about writing things down by hand.
It's more personal, more thoughtful,
I agree. So, happy journaling, everyone.
and happy connecting. That's a wrap on our deep dive into 50 Couples Therapy Journal prompts. We hope you enjoyed it.
And feel inspired to create a more fulfilling and connected relationship.
Until next time, keep exploring, keep growing, and keep the love alive.